Imagine you're driving in the middle of imagine you're driving in the middle of the night and suddenly you have a car accident where you unfortunately lose your leg. Would life begin from that moment on, or would you give up on life already when you're still young? Most of the people in the world would answer yes to these two questions. But at the end of this presentation, I hope you guys reconsider your answer. People still can succeed in life with the aid of prosthetic leg or arm. I've been doing this topic. I've been researching on this topic for the past few weeks, and I also did a project on this same topic when I was in high school. I'm sure that all of you are aware of familiar professional athletes that use this type of devices when you're playing. So today, I'm going to demonstrate how prosthetic limbs can change people's lives, and I'm also going to give the background of prosthetics and how people lose their body parts to an illness or birth defect. The first thing I would like you to know is the background of prosthetic limbs. So when did it start? It all started in the 5th dynasty, which was in the 5th Egyptian dynasty, which was 2750 BC, where a prisoner escaped from his chains and he cut off his feet in order to escape, and which later he replaced it with a wooden substitute. That was according to Bellis. Also according to Bellis, in 1858, prosthetics were made out of copper, wood, in Capraro, Italy. Now prosthetics are made of plastic, carbon fiber, steel, aluminum, rubber, and leather. There's many types of prosthetics in the world. But according to American Academy and Orthodontist Prosthetics, there could be any substitute for any part of the body, from ears, noses, legs, arms, even special parts. But today I want to focus on prosthetic legs. This is an example of a flex run. It gives optimal energy to athletes that are running in track. It's very lightweight, and it's not recommended for everyday use, because if you try to walk on these types of prosthetics, you will actually fall down. The one that will be used by everyone else would be the Veriflex. The Veriflex is a replication of a real foot. It's basically made of carbon fiber, stainless steel, rubber, and you actually use it barefoot. This is another example of a Veriflex. As you can see, it's made of carbon fiber, leather, stainless steel. You can see. And as you take this off, you see the carbon fiber inside. Now that you have the idea of what's a prosthetic, I'm going to discuss how people can lose a body part to an illness or birth defect. According to Rogers, one major cause of persons who have an amputated leg is diabetes. The reason of this is that if you have diabetes and you don't take care of yourself, the heart will not respond as normal and will stop giving blood to the farthest part of the body, which in this case would be your legs. The other major cause would be a birth defect. This happens mostly 45% of the time, where the child is basically born with a missing bone or a missing ligament. Now, I'd like to give you some examples of people that are very successful in life. This person, Jeff Skiba, was born without a fibula and had his left leg amputated in his infancy. He broke his high school high jump record in his first competition, and later that year, he tied the Paralympics record in his first national meet. He wants to break his own. He broke his own record by 6 feet 11 inches, and hopes to jump over 7 feet 2 inches over the 6 and a half, or 6'11". And also by June, he wants to qualify for the U.S. Olympic trials, where he will continue overcoming barriers one leap at a time. This is an example of Will Stewart, in age 46. While he was when he was working on construction in 1980, he lost his left hand in an industrial fan accident. He injured got tired using started issue prosthetics because it had a hook at the end, and he found out that it wasn't hot enough for his dates. So he decided to build his own type of prosthetic arm, which he could use when he's biking. He also, in the late 1980s and early 1900s, he helped DC Washington Rugby Football Club to go 3 national title tournaments in a row. The way he was carrying the ball was having it under his chin and in his chest. He became the first amputee to kayak the Grand Canyon Rapids, and also he's helping right now to develop a bike arm with a rigid wrist that rotates when attached to the handlebar. Today I mentioned how old these devices are and how people use them day-to-day basis. I also mentioned how people can have defects or accidents which will cause to have a amputated leg or an arm. So as you can see, all people all over the world are being successful with prosthetic limbs. When people lose a leg or an arm, they decide, or they believe that life is over. But in reality, life just started. Life took an unexpected turn, and as you flash back to the beginning where you had a car accident, do you still believe that life will be miserable, or do you still believe that you give up on life without even trying? So if you still think, if you still answer yes to these 2 questions, I believe you should reconsider your way of thinking. Thank you.
All right, Deshaun, what did you think?
I thought it was very good. His attention getter made it speak. The speakers was clear, and his preview was somewhat clear. I saw that he cited most of his sources. There might have been a couple things that he missed out to cite. His transitions were very good. And the only problem I thought was maybe that he kind of had his timing possibly, but he was kind of helping speak. That might have been the only problem.
All right. I thought the visualization at the beginning is okay, although, we've probably been asked to visualize a dozen things today, and so, it might be better to have something a little bit more creative. The topic is nicely identified. You've got a pretty good thesis statement, and there's a setup of what the structure is going to be. I didn't hear those transitions as clearly in the speech as you had them set up in the beginning. At the end of the speech, you do have a nice summary, though, that reminds us of what those points are, so that's okay. Sometimes I'm not quite sure why we have that whole second point about why it is that people lose the limbs. I think, to me, that's background information. That could be taken care of in the introduction. I think we need to know a little bit more about the prosthetics and how they work and the difference that they can make in people's lives. You've got a couple of good illustrations and examples to show us those things, especially in the last section. But I think we could use some information about daily sorts of experiences too. The visuals are okay. The object should be of natural interest to people. I think most people are intrigued by that sort of thing, but it seemed like you flashed through it so quickly that we don't really get much chance to observe it and look at it. I was kind of questioning. I wasn't sure whether FlexRun and Veriflex were brand names or if they are the names of that particular type of prosthetic, and so I just think I needed a little bit more detailed information on that kind of material. Like I said, the pictures were large enough to see for the most part, and they illustrated some of the points that you're making. The summary was okay. I like the exit line that you have and the way you're trying to finish up. Energy level could be a little bit higher for the presentation. Thank you.